everyone, it's Jean. I hope you all are having a great Friday. I'm filming this a little bit late because I was able to get out today and my husband and I did a little shopping and I wanted to pick up some things for my upcoming videos, and I even got to the thrift store, so I have some things to show you from that too. But the reason why we're here is today is September 15th, which marks the first day of the Spanish Heritage Month. Now, today is actually the Dia de Independencia de Mexico, and it's kind of like our 4th of July. My husband lived in Chicago for many years, so we used to visit every year, and it seemed like when we visited, it was around this time. So you see a lot of the Mexican culture and the people there displaying the Mexican flag on their cars, and a lot of mariachi and other music. My husband and I we don't really get into any of the political aspect of this. These series of videos are just to help you see the beautiful crafts and the beautiful colors of Mexico and other Latin American countries. It's interesting when you start to investigate a little bit what different things you can find to do that are fun and really work nicely into our junk journal process. So today I'm just going to do something simple. You all, if you have watched one of my previous videos where I released these beautiful Frida Kahlo images, I made these so that they could kind of look like a tag. They're a little bit smaller, but I like them because at the top they're far enough away, the actual images of Frida, that there's room to put a hole or whatever you need for hanging your tag. And I had also painted up a bunch of muslin in these bright colors. So we're going to use a little bit of that. And then what I have here, these are just scrap squares of about 3 inches of some watercolor paper. And watercolor paper is nice to use because it's thick. Now, I use it a lot for its original purpose too, but I thought for a nice project that you could hang up or that you could do fun for your craft room or wherever you want to hang it, you could do that. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my Frida Kahlo images. If you did go on my Ko-fi site, I believe I listed her images as free. So if you actually download those images and you post in my Facebook group, Lilac Lane Livery Arts, which I'll leave you a link, I will send you a special envelope. So anyone that participates in, now if I get 3 or 4 or 5 participants, which I hope I do, I'll do a draw. But if I only get 1 or 2, I'm okay with sending out a little envelope. So I'll email you or contact you through Facebook or make an announcement on one of the videos if you are included in that giveaway for this month. This will run through September 15th through to October 15th. And I'm going to do videos as I can I'm hoping that I will be able to do a week, you know, to do justice to the whole project. But we'll see how that works. So the first thing I wanted to show you is, I don't know how many of you actually purchase yarn. I don't purchase yarn very much because I think my mom has some. She used to crochet quite a bit, but since her eyes are not that great, she doesn't crochet very often. But I just loved this. It's called Mandala, and it's by Lion Brand. And I found it on Walmart. And this is, let me see how many. It's 590 yards. It's acrylic yarn. It can be dyed if you want to, and you can, of course, machine wash it. But it has all these really pretty, these are more earth tones, muted colors. And then I found this one. It's called Mandala Sparkle, and it's from Lion Brand also. It's 328 yards. But what made me excited is that I got these for $5, and these usually run about 10 to 12, I believe. So this will give me, the colors are great for, you know, other projects, but I wanted some pretty yarn to make some tassels with, and I just love this sparkle. So I might have to go back and check what else I can find, but I just love this yarn. I went to the Dollar Tree today. Their yarn was okay, but what I noticed is they didn't really have any bright colors, and that's what I wanted, bright colors. So let's get started. As I mentioned, I just cut these 3-inch blanks. I'm pretty sure they're 3. If not, they're close to it. 3 by almost 4, it looks like. So, and you don't have to have fabric for this, but if you do, and this is what I was telling you, this is scrap, so you'll see something else showing on the other side. Not a big deal, but just so you know that it's nice to recycle if you have any to recycle with. So I'm going to cut the fabric a little bit bigger than the actual blank itself. And then I'm going to take some glue, and I'm trying to decide what glue. I'll just use this. Craft Bond is really good, but it is a wetter glue. I have my glitter glue that I got, my art glitter glue, but I haven't put it in the bottle yet. And I don't know if you can just change the nozzle or not. I'll have to check it out and see. So this might be a little bit dry. Give me a second here. So I'm just going to put a bead of glue along the edges. And if you're familiar at all, you know, we make journal covers and that type of thing. You just basically fold over the fabric, and you can do whatever side you want to first, but we want to just fold this over. I saw a video that I thought was pretty interesting on bookbinding, or, you know, like making book. I don't know if it was actual bookbinding or what, but anyway, he was doing covers, and I thought I really liked his way of doing the cover. So what he did is he met these two together and then snipped them, and then you get almost like a mitered corner, if you can see that. Not perfect, but perfect enough for what we're going to do. So I'll just do the same thing with this one. Just put both sides down and then snip it here, and then make sure that's mitered together. It just makes it have a little bit of a nicer look on the back. I will probably cover the back with something like another bright colored piece of paper, or maybe book paper. I'm not sure, because I want these to go, our different projects that we make, into a little keepsake journal, or something that will look really nice for our Spanish Heritage Month projects. Because I'm going to make tie these into what we can use in our journal. So here we have the covered piece, and I did try the best I could with the mitering, but however you cover your piece of fabric, that's what we want to do. Pull this one down a little bit. I can be a little particular sometimes when it comes to edges and stuff. I want them to look right. So there's that. And I think the image that I'm going to use is actually, oops, this one on the end. That I love the purple one too, so I love her, love her fancy updo hair with the flowers in it, and she was an amazing lady and a very talented artist, Mexican artist. She was a painter. So here I have her image, and I need to find my blue inker. I moved my yarn out of the way here. I just art attack. And I'm going to take this blue and go around the edges of this. Now, I think this would look really pretty if you had other colors of ink, like orange, or even a dark yellow. A lot of the artists only use one color when they are inking. I love my browns, but I also find that inking them in other colors that go along with the design looks nice too. Now I'm going to put some glue on the back of this, and I'm just going to put it right on the center section, right here. So you can see it's just in the middle. And then I'm going to lay this and kind of center it so it lays quite nicely over that. And then I'll turn it over and press it down. Oh, my fingernail. My daughter babysits this little girl. She's only 2. She's the sweetest little thing. And my daughter came over to, I'm going to put some glue down here while I'm talking about this, but she came over, and my mom asked my daughter to paint her toenails. So when she was doing that, Kinley wanted to paint my nails. So it was quite cute. This is the only one that got painted though. And she actually did pretty good for a 2-year-old, but it was so cute because she wanted hers done. She wanted to do mine. So we had fun. My daughter has babysat her for a while, so they're really good friends. So here is it's more of like a journaling spot. So let me see if I can find some pretty colored paper to go on the back. I have tons of it. I took all of my leftover inks that I had, my dilution spray inks, and I just went to town and dyed a whole bunch of papers. So I have tons of colors now that I can use in different variations. And I just love that because then it gives us, not only does it help you use up some of the stuff that you have accumulating space. Like I had quite a few journals, blank journals, and other blank paper. So this is just helping me so I can get rid of that. And actually, I'm going to leave this kind of torn. So let me tear this edge. I saw something also really interesting. I'm not sure if I saw it on a Facebook group or where, but someone had purchased a Dremel tool. If you're familiar with them, they do sanding and all kinds of stuff. But the interesting thing is that she had used that to make herself a ruler that had a decorative edge. And I can see me using one of those, especially if it was like a torn edge design. So I might have to make one of those. Sometimes I think this is a little bit too long. So let's just go like this and straighten this up a tiny bit and see how it goes on there now, because I don't want it to cover up the go all the way to the edges so you can see it sticking out. So there it has a really nice journaling spot on the back. And I think I have my hole punch close by. And let me see. I cleaned up my desk in parentheses, and now what normally happens is I lose my supplies. Okay, here's the one I wanted. Now this is going to be a little tricky because I don't know if it'll go through completely to the other side because of the fabric, but I'm gonna give it a go. It doesn't want to, I don't think. So when all else fails, you can also make a hole with one of these. That's the problem, is the fabric on the back. That's why it doesn't want to make a hole. But you can, I really love this. I call it a paper piercer. I do call it a paper piercer, paper something. But anyway, when I use it, it does give me, it does come in handy. So if you don't have one of these, I recommend getting one because they really do come in handy. If not for something like this, for widening holes in your beads or what have you. So I'm just going to leave that. And I got from the thrift a bag with some really tiny sunflowers in it. Now these are probably from the dollar store, which I don't really care that they are, but I got a whole pack of things, and I'll show you guys later what I got. But what I liked about these is that they're actually craft style and not the silk flowers. So I'm going to add this sunflower right here on the top. I was going to put some ribbon through it first, but I think I'm just going to put the sunflower on it, and then I might do something more. So if we put this, oh, I was like, what was that? The stem, you could feel it when I pressed it down. So I think that looks really nice. Let me see if I got another package of larger ones. So maybe what I'll do is I'll put a larger one at the bottom. I don't want to take away from Frida. Miss Frida. I think Frida is a cool name. Of course, I got one of the plainest names in the whole world, you know, Jean. So obviously, I would think Frida is a cool name. Okay, I don't know if I like that. I think, oh, I know what I'm going to use. So, let me see how this would look if I can get a decent piece here. It's all kind of tangled up in its own way. Let me see if I have another one. Okay, that one's probably the brightest one I have, but this one I love the braiding more. And we could just put some of this down here. Let's see, how many can we need to position it so that we get one tassel in the middle. Okay, so let me cut this here. This is just some, I call it cheap, but it's like inexpensive trim that does have the pom-poms and the little tassels on, but it's not like super quality. So, But I think it looks nice on there because these colors actually go well. And nowadays, when you find any kind of this Mexican or Indian, or this reminds me a lot of Peruvian with the llamas, which I have a llama project I can't wait to show you guys, but this reminds me of Peruvian, but they're not, this does not have real mirror in it. It just has sequin. And if you can find some with the real mirrors in it, you know, that's definitely the ones that you want to pick up. So let me do some little trimmy-do here. So I can get this nice and even. And then we will comb this out a little bit so it looks nice and pretty. You like my back scratcher? It works perfectly for this type of project. Now, I will say I love this trim, but I don't think the tassel is necessarily the proper color. But, you know, one of the great things about art is when you use things that create maybe something unexpected. So you have a really bright card here, and then you have this light pink tassel. That may be not something someone would expect to see on this type of design, but it looks, I still think it looks good because it gives the feel that we want of a Mexican style journaling card. So there is Frida, and there's so many more of these that you can use, and you don't have to use my particular style. I just liked the color combinations, but you could just cut these out by themselves and make yourself a bunch of tags. Just put something on the back so you have journaling spot. I think that would be really pretty. This could actually, if you had if you have any hangers, craft hangers or hangers that you can make yourself, you could actually hang this if you wanted to. And I think that would look really pretty as well. So all kinds of things that we can do. And this one turned out to be without, I like better the sunflower at the top instead of ribbon. And I think this helps it to be more suitable for a journal card that you could tuck inside a journal. So I hope you enjoyed this little trek through Hispanic culture with me. And I just want to see, we'll have Frida graduating. Speaking of which, my son is going to be graduating soon, next year. He graduates 2024. And I didn't realize how expensive graduation things were, but they're terribly expensive. You can add that on if you want. I don't know if I'll keep it on there, but it was just laying there. How expensive graduation things are. They're crazy. So I told my son, we'll just get the minimum and I'll work on making some announcements for you. He's not that particular. He's very handsome, but he's not that particular with photos and things like that. So I think even if I just use the picture out of the yearbook, he would be satisfied with that, because the last couple years he hasn't even wanted his school pictures done. So this day and age, with all the different programs we have, we could make some really nice announcements for a little bit of nothing compared to how much they wanted to charge us for announcements for graduation. And I know your son only graduates one time, or your daughter, but it just seems like a waste when I have the ability and the resources to make his announcements for him. So that's what we're gonna do. And tomorrow, hopefully, I will be able to show you. I want to get like a small little journal done so that we can stick all these things in when we're finished. So here is Frida. I hope you enjoyed this little craft. I'm sure it's something that you all are very capable of doing yourself, but it's fun to use different images and different styles. So thank you so much for visiting me. And if you care to share my channel with anyone else that's interested, I'd be delighted. I did, as I mentioned, upload a bunch of the images into the coffee shop. So hop on by and check those, and let me see on my Facebook group, Lilac Lane Livery Arts, what you did with your Frida images. And I can't wait to share the rest of the month with you. So thank you so much for stopping by. Have a wonderful night. Take care.